friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here and you're watching the detailed camera review of the most awaited camera smartphone, the Huawei P30 Pro. Last year Huawei announced the P20 Pro in India, and towards the end of 2018 we saw the flagship P30 Pro also being announced in India with triple rear camera. Now the company is launching the latest flagship smartphone in the P series, the P30 Pro with quad rear camera in partnership with Leica. The Huawei P30 Pro is currently the best camera smartphone available right now according to DxOMark with a total rating of 112. The camera hardware is top of the line and offers plethora of modes and options to choose. So let's see how the camera performs. In terms of the camera hardware, the Huawei P30 Pro comes with a 40 megapixel primary camera with an f1.6 aperture and optical image stabilization. There is also a secondary 20 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with an f2.2 aperture. The third lens in 8 megapixel periscope telephoto lens with f3.4 aperture and optical image stabilization is included, which can do 5x optical zoom. The fourth camera is an Huawei time of flight camera. There is also Huawei's artificial intelligence stabilization, or the AIS, included in the phone. There is also dual tone dual LED flash included. So that's the rear camera setup on the Huawei P30 Pro. Talking about the selfie camera, it packs a 32 megapixel shooter with f2.0 aperture and it has screen flash included for low light selfies. There is also AI mode available for both the rear and the front cameras. The camera interface of the P30 Pro hasn't changed much with what we saw on the P20 Pro. The UI offers plethora of modes to choose, including monochrome mode. Now talking about the daylight captures. By default, the camera takes images in 10 megapixel resolution due to quad Bayer filter. But if you want, you can still opt to save in the 40 megapixel mode. This is a new sensor made by Sony specifically for Huawei, and it has RYYB color filter instead of the traditional RGB filter, and the company claims that this helps in getting 40% more light than the traditional RGB sensor. The first thing you will notice about the photos is the details. The photos taken with a primary camera have come up with good details and accurate color reproduction. The AI scene detection works flawlessly and can detect more than 1500 scenes and does a really good job. Even if you zoom into the pictures, you seldom see any noise or loss of clarity. The dynamic range is pretty good and it resolves shadows very well. Overall, there is high level detail, good dynamic range, accurate colors and superb contrast, and overall the excellent processing available on the rear camera. Another important feature of the camera is the ultra wide angle mode, which uses the second 20 megapixel camera. While the photos are very good, it doesn't have the details like the primary sensor, but overall does a great job. This is particularly useful when shooting historical places, and the wide angle photos have great colors and there isn't any visible chromatic aberrations. The wide angle camera can also do super macro mode, which can either be toggled from the settings or the AI mode automatically selects it. It can shoot as close as 2.5 cm and does a really impressive job. Now coming to the third periscope telephoto lens, it is an 8 megapixel shooter and Huawei saves images as 10 megapixel, probably by upscaling the images, and you can see the results are really good. 5x optical zoom and the 10x hybrid zoom does the job exceptionally well with good details, sharp images and great colors. The 50x digital zoom is just for you to see something which is too far, and even for digital zoom it does a really good job here. The 5x optical zoom is by far the best we have seen on any smartphone till date. There is also a monochrome mode where you get the normal, aperture, portrait mode and also pro mode for black and white images. Moving to the portrait mode, the phone uses the 40 megapixel camera along with the TOF camera for depth sensing. There are few bokeh highlights including circles, hearts and discs, which you can choose from the settings. The edge detection is pretty good and the subject separation is more or less accurate and one of the best we have seen. Portrait shots are a bit warmer in tone. There is also the aperture mode wherein you can change the blur even after the image has been captured. It can go from f.95 to f16 and does a pretty good job overall. Now let's talk about the low light abilities of the camera. You can shoot the low light using all the three cameras in both regular as well as night mode. The regular photos taken in 10 megapixel came out impressive, and it is more or less similar to what we have seen on the Mate 20 Pro. But with f1.6 aperture, images are a bit tad brighter and resolves details better. The night mode photos came out well and are usable with low noise and blur-free images. We can also do 5x and 10x zoom in the night mode, and the results are quite good. The colors are retained perfectly well with good details in the low light captures. The night mode works just like any other Huawei flagship smartphone, and it captures a bunch of photos and stacks them to produce a final image of accurate exposure and lower noise. While in some cases there wasn't considerable difference between the regular and night mode, it can still be helpful in getting more details. The sensor is capable of ISOs up to 4,09,600, and this means even in pitch dark, the sensor is able to capture details even without the night mode. So this is the 4K Ultra HD camera sample taken with the Huawei P30 Pro, which has optical image stabilization enabled, and you can see for yourself how good the camera quality is, and also the stabilization of the rear camera when recording in 4K Ultra HD. So now we have done a 10x zoom with the 4K Ultra HD video. So this is also wide angle shot with the 4K video. So you can do zooming up to 10x with the 4K Ultra HD video. This is the 1080p sample taken with the Huawei P30 Pro, and it does a really good job with stabilization and also the details on offer. So this video has been shot using the AI background blur mode available in the video settings. You can see that only the subject is available and rest of the background gets blurred even for the video recording. This is something which is really good and works really well on the Huawei P30 Pro. The device can also shoot slow motion videos in 720p at 960 fps and 240 fps, and also in 1080p resolution at 120 fps. Now talking about the selfie experience. The 32 megapixel selfie camera can shoot amazing selfies, and when we reviewed the Mate 20 Pro, we mentioned that the selfie experience needs to improve, and this is exactly what Huawei has done with the P30 Pro. The selfie camera has impressive details and has sharp selfies. The dynamic range is also very good, and the color reproduction is spot on. The front camera has portrait mode with lot of effects on offer. The edge detection works quite well most of the times, but occasionally you can see that it misses out, especially if you have complex backgrounds. So this is the front-facing camera sample taken with the Huawei P30 Pro, which can record videos in 1080p resolution, and you can judge yourself how good the camera quality is, and also the audio output from the front camera. That's a 32 megapixel shooter on the Huawei P30 Pro. So that is a detailed camera review of the Huawei P30 Pro. So summing up, the P30 Pro is one of those phones which gets you the best camera available right now on a smartphone. The camera impressed us in multiple areas and is arguably the best we have right now on a smartphone. The ultra-wide snapper also does a great job with autofocus, but the biggest performer here is the 8 megapixel periscope camera, which impressed it with zoom capabilities. The capabilities of the P30 Pro's camera is immense, and we are not really sure if we have done justice to the modes and features on offer with our detailed camera review. If you are looking for a flagship smartphone with focus on camera, without doubt the Huawei P30 Pro is the best we have right now. No phone is perfect, and the Huawei P30 Pro has its share of small cons in the camera department, and they are the lack of 4K at 60 fps, and also the selfie camera is a fixed focus with edge detection not being accurate all the time. But these are minor cons when you consider the immense capabilities of the camera. So that is a detailed camera review of the Huawei P30 Pro. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.